Hello everybody. Little by little, we've been working on this barn all summer long. Mainly on Mrs. Stedhomer's side, and this afternoon I decided it was time to start working on the main feed, or the electrical coming into the barn. So grab a seat. This is going to be probably take some time to put this all together, and we'll be back in a little bit and get started with the load center out here in the barn. Now we're going to start with the main lines and hook them up there. I think we're going to start with the green, which is the common ground. Not the common, it's the ground. So that's exactly the one that we're going to start with and bring it right to there. The next two are going to be the two hot lines. These are the ones that will actually carry the current. Then we're going to be putting the common in last because it goes clear over here. We don't want to put it in now because it would be in the way of these two, which go here and here. Now these don't really matter which ones they go, so long as it's the hot. It's not this one. That's all that matters. So let's do this one first here. Last one will be the common one. And y'all understand, this is one of 3 times I have to do this. It's going to work. It's going to be safe and everything, and everybody's going to be happy about it. So I could have sworn I had more breakers. Got to go look for them. We'll come back again when we got something else to show you. If you recall, you watched BFGT and I working on bringing this line right there around to the house. Right there. And it's been coiled up there the whole time. Now, if you can see right there where the gray main line comes in for our power, if we go 8 inches to the left and drill a hole, we'll be just about perfect for breaking this thing through the wall. Now, we're taking and carrying a bunch of stuff down to the basement because I think this is what we're probably going to end up doing tomorrow. We'll have this wire put in a conduit up to an LB, from the LB through the wall into some 90 degrees, but down into the sub panel that we will terminate, and then take the remainder of this as well as the 10 gauge that we have here to go between that sub panel and the load center for the house. Okay, here is the household load center, and right here is where I'm going to mount the sub box, breaker box right there, and then it will have the cable or the wire running from here to there. Now, in my hand I have a 100 amp breaker that I got on eBay. Let's hope it'll fit right there in that open slot, and it will give us all the power out in the barn we need. Now this is an old Pushmatic 200 amp load center, and this load center that I'm putting here, the breaker box, the sub breaker box, is going to have one breaker, a 60 ampere or so, that goes to here, to this 100 ampere, and then from there I'll have another one which will be a 30 ampere that'll go to this bank. And we hope and pray that it'll work. Okay, we have the sub panel temporarily set up. I don't have it tightened by any means. This pipe here that's laying here will be the conduit that goes from here to here. Now, I had to drill this hole to accept this piece of conduit. This one I had to grind out because it wasn't quite big enough, but with what I'm putting in, it needs a conduit because it's an underground cable. Over here, I was going to put the 100 amp breaker here to feed, but I thought, you know, really, if I put it clear over here, it may just be a little more easier to do. I have this, everything is ready for this to be wired except the conduit up there and coming through the wall, and that's the next thing that we have to do. We have to bring it through the wall and into here so that we can get our cabling down to this point. And hopefully I'll have enough cable cut off of it that will go from here all the way to here and up to here. I'm hoping. If I don't, then it's back to Lowe's to get some more. Okay. I'll set this up outside. I'm getting ready to drill a hole. That's the scary part. And we'll see how well we do. You're going to have to excuse me for being a little out of breath, but I think that kind of says it. We have it in to the house. And you can see there that it's made the turn and gone through the wall. I've clamped right there the LB up against the wall and put plenty of caulking back in there to seal that hole good. Now I'm and I also completely filled the end of the pipe with caulking, and the rest of this is about to get buried. We already started right there, got that buried or come around the corner. Now we're just going to go ahead and finish the rest, clear up against the wall, and we'll be getting the cap to put on that, and then we'll be done out here, and the rest of the work will be done inside. It's all hooked up. Now, I didn't bring you along to show you how I was hooking the sub panel up because, you know, there are so many good videos on YouTube, especially Blazing Nail Gun. He really shows exactly the same one, and he really shows has a great video on putting one of those together. I have already put the 100 amp breaker here and marked it barn, the 100 amp breaker here, and as you can see, marked it barn. I have this wired backwards than what it would normally be. I have the power coming in this way into the breaker itself and then out and up and out to the barn. There's a reason for this, because I can also do this, which it shows keep off, and this is a generator. If we lose power and I take my generator out there and have it ready, I can backfeed through these two into both of these banks. That little red dot right there is where my generator is going to be fed on this side. The 100 is on the other side. It's a little backwards, but you know, I think it'll work, and I've talked it over with a couple of electricians that have said that the way that I have designed this and put this together, they think it'll work also. Now, it's not as good as a transfer case, you know, if you have, or a transfer switch, I guess it is, where it does it automatically, but this will do, and it's way cheaper. So let's go out to the barn, and I'll flip the switches out there and we'll see if we did it right. Okay, now that we're out of here at the barn, I have everything wired into the main. This is a 120 amp or 125 amp load center, but I'm feeding it with 100 amp, which is more than enough. And I have just stuck 4 of the breakers that we had over here. I have to get a whole bunch more, but anyway, I wired up those plugs. Those are the utility plugs that we can use, and I have also taken that fan and I have plugged it into there. It's turned, the fan is turned on. All we have to do now is flip the main and the other breaker to see if we got it right. That's the main. And look at there. We now have power to the barn, underground, and I can get rid of all of these extension cords that we've been using to bring the power over here. Now I still have to use extension cords like this up and over into Mrs. Stedhomer's side for a little while until we get that finished off over in there, and then I can actually start wiring these wires here into breakers so that we can turn hers on with the switches. Okay. Anybody see anything? Can you see it now? Little tiny guy just looks like a bump on the end of our antenna. They are so sweet. This is Stedhomer. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, give us thumbs up, tell your family, tell your friends, and of course tell your local electrician. We'll catch you the next time. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.